Hello, everyone. My name is Brian Larkin here with PCG Digital, and I am very fortunate to have with us today Nathan Hollenbach, also known as Hollerback in high school.
Correct.
He's with DGDG, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about analytics and their customer journey, or their journey that they've been on of really kind of going a completely different approach when you think about a CRM and how to use that data and then how to leverage that out into their marketing efforts. And so why don't you start up by sharing with us a little bit about what you guys have been doing over at DGDG. And I was a little bit surprised yesterday when I heard that you guys have basically gone with a CRM that is really outside of the automotive usual suspects, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you went with Salesforce. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So that was a long journey to get to where we are today. It took me pitching the expense to bring on the platform for 3 years to leadership before they finally said okay, and they agreed with me on going on this direction, this vision. And then it took 3 years of development work to make this come together, and had to break through a lot of red tape with some of the OEM partners to allow them, or for them to allow us to do this. But I think the big thing for us was there were kind of a few different objectives that we were trying to reach. One was the unification of all of our customer data in one place. So, historically it was, you had different, siloed dealership information, and we didn't really have an enterprise level way to see like what was the true value of a customer. And so now using something called fuzzy logic within Salesforce, we're now able to deduplicate all the different repair orders that all have a different customer record number and things like that, so that we can finally see that one customer view, which has been fantastic for us. But then now we can use that really cleaned up first party data and do things that are actionable with it. And so we're activating that data through the trade desk, and our CDP that we're using to push from there is treasure data. And so we're getting into programmatic through the trade desk, and so display, digital audio, digital video, connected TV, and then the goal is to continue on sort of this omni-channel journey and include programmatic mailers. Do our own email activation through Marketing Cloud, which is another Salesforce product. And so, it's exciting as a marketer. There was a lot of limitations that I had within a lot of the automotive systems. And so now we kind of have built our own destiny here to accomplish a lot of the things that we wanted to accomplish but couldn't.
So it sounds like it began with a really long road of convincing, 3 years, you said, then followed by a 3-year implementation process?
Correct, yeah.
So now, was that more because you guys were trying to figure out what you wanted from an enterprise level, or was that more because Salesforce had never really worked with anybody in automotive to kind of build this whole, product out, so to speak?
Yeah, they have a product today called Auto Cloud, which is meant for tier one manufacturers, but there's a lot of, it's mostly a tech CRM, and so it doesn't have a lot of the functionality that dealers need to, round robin leads on a schedule and things like that. So we had to build 42 different custom developments and objects in order to make it function for a tier 3 dealer. And so, it was a long road to get there. I think the first year was myself and our CTO trying to project manage it, but we're both pulled in a lot of different directions. And so it was really difficult because there's just so much development work. You needed someone to literally fixate, and it became a full-time job. And so we actually hired a project manager to project manage it out. The other big challenge was, we had never built a CRM before. We had used them, right? And so it was a little bit, we were doing a lot of whiteboarding. We were working with developers, and they would kind of say, hey, we're at this stage. We can do it this way, or that way. What do you think? We go into the conference room, whiteboard, and figure out what do we think we want to do. So it kind of became a little scary of like, man, we have a very successful business. So we don't want to go and put like an untested solution into the business and disrupt it. So we were in the process of building a website that's we call it Sell to DGDG. And it was the ability to give an offer to a guest within a few minutes a value and what we would pay for their vehicle if they wanted to sell it to us. And so we thought, this is probably a really good test because it's not a thing yet. There's nothing to break, right? We're just starting out. And so we started out after our first year of sort of trying to project plan it and whiteboard it and figure out what we wanted to do. And then the second year was all about running it and testing it and seeing leads and opportunities coming through and running through automations and things of that nature. And so once we had that expertise finally, and not just us sort of guessing a little bit on the whiteboard, then it was easy to take that and apply what we had learned into putting it into the dealership. So
is all that extra work that you put into this, which is just sounds tremendous, and probably pretty exciting throughout the process.
For sure.
You could really kind of build something that was going to be, your destiny, as you put it, to create what you wanted with it. Did Salesforce, did they take that, some of the things that you put together, and are they, putting that into their tier 3 model for dealers? Are they taking some of your recommendations, or is this something that a dealer would have to, if they wanted to go a Salesforce route, that, all that hard work that you did actually doesn't help them at all, because, so they'll have to go through those same kinds of efforts. Can you share some of that with us?
Yeah. So actually one of the things that we're in the process of right now is taking what we've built and developed, and we're working with Salesforce to try and put it on their app exchange. And so the thought process and idea being that a dealership or dealer group shouldn't have to spend a tremendous amount of money that we spent on this and, go through 3 years of development work, and try to give them the core functionalities that are needed to make Salesforce work for a tier 3 dealer.
Right.
And then for those that can dream big, the larger dealer groups that have larger, budgets that they can put towards development, that want to do more customization, that's the beautiful thing about Salesforce. You can. So, we're in the process of going through steps with Salesforce to get there. But our hope is to have an app on the App Exchange by the end of the year and bring something to market at the beginning of next year. So
that would be really cool. So tell our viewers a little bit about, when you guys decided to go down this journey with Salesforce, you've now are fully integrated. You've got all 20 stores on it. When did you go live finally? What was the date of live? So
the first store that we brought on board was actually our Audi store, and we did that in, I want to say it was September of last year. Okay. And then we quickly brought on our Volkswagen dealership. We got our last dealership on board in February of this year. Okay. And we probably would have rolled it out faster, but again, I mentioned earlier some red tape with the OEMs, so that was a bit of a challenge. But fortunately, we were able to work things out with everybody and get on some pilots and things like that. So it was a challenge, but I think we're excited that they put their trust and faith in us. The consumer journey, I think, is what we all care about at the end of the day. We all have that same vision in mind. So
perfect. So now that we've done, we've kind of walked you through the journey that you were with Salesforce. Tell me about how you're taking all this data now and linking that. And, are you integrating that now with with the other partners that you have out there for advertising? Do they integrate with Salesforce, or are you using your CDP and saying, hey, this is the data you're going to use, not what's in my CRM? You're using my CDP data, and that's what you're going to use to market to my customers.
Yeah.
How you're using the analytics that
for
come
sure
along with that too.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of what I hear at the conferences these days about CDP is because the data is so bad in the DMS, and a lot of times it's really poor with manual entry data that goes into the CRM. People are using CDP to clean that up. We sort of took a different approach with just trying to clean the data in the CRM and remove a lot of manually entered follow-up. So someone can't come in and just put left message, and then go on about their day. Like that, we actually see with our phone system integrated all of the communication that goes back and forth. And so we have better analytics, we have better attribution, we have better accountability, and most importantly for us is training. We believe that if you can measure upon it, you can improve upon it. And so we're able to find where people are deficient in getting response back on the phone or through text or through email, and have better coaching conversations and one-on-ones with our team. So that's kind of step one. And then step two is we built this solution to obviously be backwards compatible with ADF technology. But part of the reason we went this route was we wanted to be able to go beyond the limitations of ADF technology. And so, it's been a fun journey, and we're just able to see a lot more upstream on the consumer journey.
Well, Nathan, we certainly appreciate your time today on the podcast. All of our viewers, I'm sure, have been educated about the Salesforce journey. Thank you for making that journey for us.
Sure.
I'm sure it was like, it's a thankless job what you went through. But thank you for sharing that with us today. And
Absolutely.
we want to hear more at MRC, our next conference, about what are some of the results that you're now seeing that you got all the dealerships up and going. So let's do that again.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you.